Homeowners and renters insurance protects your stuff. Let's learn how to get the right level of coverage.
Welcome back to My Dedication. I'm Daniel Henry, and today we are continuing our insurance deep dive series by jumping into the world of homeowners and renters insurance. So far, you have successfully insured your health, your car, shopped disability insurance, and given your loved ones the incredibly generous gift of term life insurance. These insurance products may seem like quite a bit of your monthly expenses, but considering what they protect, they are absolutely essential and worth it. Think about it. If you have covered your loved one's entire life needs with life insurance for less than a meal out every month, you have insured against medical bills causing you bankruptcy, and made sure you can stay healthy, which is the most important aspect of your life. Your car can be a complete nightmare and waste of money if not insured properly. So you have developed a full coverage plan that protects you and others from terrible financial loss, not to mention bodily harm. All of that coverage brings peace of mind and is crucial in building the protective foundation needed to begin building real wealth, because if any of these things were to go wrong without coverage, it would be financially impossible to recover and incredibly stressful for you. Let's continue our insurance journey and talk about a very simple type of coverage that isn't too expensive at all. If you rent or own where you live, it is important to protect your stuff. Renter's insurance is incredibly affordable, and as long as you don't have some ancient, priceless piece of jewelry that you are trying to protect in your home, you can often get coverage for less than $30 a month. That will protect all of your belongings and then some. Homeowners insurance is a bit more expensive, but that is because it covers the things that could destroy your home, the physical building, and the things in it. Renter's insurance is something that you can add on by simply calling your current insurance company, or a different one if you so choose, and adding this coverage. Just like all of the insurance products we have investigated so far, this type of insurance offers different coverage options as well. Surprise, surprise. Let's look into what those are and see if you need them for your personal situation. The first one is personal property. This coverage protects your stuff, your personal property, from covered things such as theft, fire, vandalism, and more. You pick a limit level that would cover all of your belongings, most of the time starting with $10,000 in coverage, which is usually plenty if you're just starting out or renting with items that you don't necessarily buy for the long term, like that sofa bed you still have from school. The next one is personal liability. This coverage is pretty important because it covers you in the event that someone is injured inside or outside the rental property. This is more common than you think. Just think about a heated game of Guitar Hero or game night that goes awry and someone falls, breaking their arm. You could be liable for this injury and the associated costs, and that's not something you want to pay out of pocket. You have your own health and money to worry about, so get liability coverage. Loss of use or additional living expenses coverage. This type of coverage will help you pay for hotel stays and meals out in a situation where the rental is temporarily uninhabitable due to forces beyond your control. I once had a unit above mine in San Francisco have a couch destroy the sprinkler system, causing massive water damage to our unit. We were able to use our coverage and additional flood coverage to help us recoup the costs of temporary rental while ours was fixed. It can happen to you, and you don't want to be caught paying full price for hotels without insurance, shouldering that cost. Next one is medical payment coverage. This supplemental coverage can help you cover the medical expenses of you or someone injured on your rental property, regardless of who or what is at fault. Other important coverage to consider: earthquakes if you live in an area prone to this act of nature, water backup. Many policies will only cover what happens inside the home. If something horrible like city sewage water backup somehow floods your home, you need this coverage to recoup any costs associated with the repairs. Flood insurance. Flood insurance is often not included in typical renters or homeowners policies, and floods can happen anywhere for a lot of unforeseen reasons. It's not too expensive to add this coverage as long as you don't live in a very flood-prone area. You can even insure against certain cyber attack incidents if you rely heavily on computing for your work or have a lot of expensive equipment. Homeowners insurance, how to. When you have completed step 8 of the daily dedication, owning your home, It is very important to protect your purchase with sufficient homeowners insurance coverage. Let's look at these coverage options the same way we have done for each of your insurance needs so far. The following information is gathered from my own experience of buying 3 properties in Chicago and 1 home in Texas. The coverage options described below are ones that I have had to consider when buying homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance covers your home in the event of damage to the actual structure, the liability you may face if someone is injured on the property, your personal belongings, and there are supplemental policies to cover floods and earthquakes that you should consider if you live in areas prone to these acts of nature. Let's break down the coverage options and terms associated with homeowners insurance so you go into the process with better understanding and more confidence when discussing these ideas with agents. The first one is dwelling coverage. This coverage covers damage to the physical structure of your home. Think wind damage, hail, fire, and theft or vandalism. Again, floods and earthquakes are not typically included in base coverage, so seriously consider getting supplemental coverage for these things if you live in areas prone to floods or earthquakes. The next one, personal property coverage. This coverage is similar to the renter's insurance version in that it covers your stuff. Think personal belongings like your bed, blender, or office chairs. Your stuff will be covered under certain events like damage or theft up to the limit you choose to cover. The other coverage options are the same or very similar to renter's insurance coverages, but here they apply to your purchased home. Loss of use coverage. If your home becomes uninhabitable due to a covered event, this coverage will help pay for hotel stays and meals while any repairs are being done. The next one, personal liability coverage. This again covers you if you are found legally liable for a guest's injuries on your property or on the grounds of your home. Medical payments coverage. This coverage will help pay for medical expenses for anyone injured on your property, regardless of who is at fault. Do you see how just a few moments of your time has armed you with enough information to make informed decisions? You are more than capable of making these decisions and doing it in a way that keeps your expenses low so you can put the rest of your money to work for you instead of the other way around. A lot of people that I have helped in the past never even knew that insurance policies have different coverage options, and fewer still knew that those options actually cover. It is incredibly important to know these coverage meanings for every policy so you can take control of the protections needed for your unique life experience. Homeowners and renters insurance how-to. With renters and homeowners insurance policies, simply write down which coverage options from the above list you need for your peace of mind and your personal situation. Then add those coverage options to your policy and shop around for the best rates just like we did before. Remember to call at least 3 companies and make them compete for your business. Do this in another afternoon where you have an hour or 2 to make an informed decision. Google the customer service numbers for the major insurance companies like Geico, Travelers, Liberty Mutual, and Progressive, and compare them all for the best rates and coverage limits. Again, I receive no compensation from the companies recommended in this video. These are just some of the biggest financially stable companies with good track records of customer service and claims resolution speed. I personally use Travelers because my wife gets great rate reductions through her employer, and they have great responsive customer service 24/7. Now that you have a guide of what to consider, it should be much easier to make informed, confident decisions based on your personal situation and needs. Thank you for watching My Dedication. In our next episode, we are going to do a deep dive into pet insurance. A lot of pet lovers don't even know this insurance exists. And speaking from personal experience, let me tell you, this insurance is a lifesaver, literally. See you in the next episode.